of our planet, changes in global temperature were caused by natural events like volcanic eruptions, the sun's activity, and orbital cycles. But the warming we observe since 1850 is not caused by natural events. It is caused by human activities emitting CO2 and other greenhouse gases, also causing widespread, rapid, and intensifying climate changes across the entire Earth system, which will increase with any additional further warming. In every region of the world, we are seeing out-of-control climate impacts, with extreme events becoming more frequent and more severe. Many of the recent extremes would have been highly unlikely to occur without human-induced climate change. Across sectors and regions, the most vulnerable people and ecosystems are disproportionately affected by these changes. The rise in extremes has led to some irreversible impacts as nature and humans are pushed beyond their ability to adapt. So what are our possible futures? These are the 5 CO2 emission scenarios assessed by the IPCC that depend on the level of climate change mitigation. 2 low scenarios in blue, where CO2 emissions immediately decline, 2 high scenarios in red, where they continue to rise, and an intermediate. And these are the corresponding temperature projections for each scenario. As you can see, only in the lowest emission scenario in the upper left, global warming projections stay close to 1.5 degrees by the end of the century, while in all others, projected warming is much higher. These climate projections provide a clear signal to COP27. To limit to 1.5 degrees, we need to cut CO2 emissions by around 45% by 2030. This is already in 8 years. And they must decline further to achieve net zero by 2050, followed by negative CO2 emissions throughout the rest of the century. Immediate, deep, and sustained reductions of methane and other greenhouse gases are also required. Otherwise, limiting warming to 1.5 degrees will be beyond reach. But we are not on track. Not with policies that were implemented by December 2020, not with COP26 pledges, and not with policies currently in place that with no additional action are projected to lead to a global warming of 2.8 degrees. Distinguished Excellencies, this is falling far short of the Paris goals with no credible pathway to 1.5 degrees in place. Much stronger mitigation measures are needed to keep warming below 1.5 degrees, even for limiting it to 2 degrees. This demands immediate, critical steps to shift societies, economies, and technologies towards net zero emissions across all sectors and all regions. It requires a systematic change, turning away from fossil fuel use, from exploitation of natural resources, and from unsustainable agriculture, forestry, and other land use. The next few years are critical. We have the know-how to take meaningful, more decisive climate actions, creating new economic opportunities for zero-carbon technology and conserving, protecting, and restoring ecosystems. Now is the time. Climate scientists around the whole world work together to provide you with this robust information on climate change and pathways for climate action. Comprehensive and long-term observation provide us with unprecedented and compelling information about the Earth system. Climate models provide us with robust information about future climate changes and impacts on natural and human systems. Based on this research, the IPCC 6th Assessment Report assessed the latest science on climate change. The cumulative scientific evidence is unequivocal. Climate change is a threat to human well-being and planetary health. Any further delay in collective global action on adaptation and mitigation will miss a brief and rapidly closing window of opportunity to secure a livable and sustainable future for all. To avoid a climate catastrophe, we need urgent, large-scale transformation of our industrial energy and transport systems and our whole way of life. A shift from exploitation to cooperation with the environment towards nature-based solutions that help restore ecosystems and preserve biodiversity. Only then we can create a sustainable and climate-resilient world. The time for action is now, here at COP27. This is a global problem which requires action from all countries of the world, from all of you working together. Dear ladies and gentlemen, distinguished excellencies, your choices made in the coming 2 weeks matter for many generations to come. We, the whole world, count on you. Thank you.